see. Looks like we are all set. Let's see, my audio is coming in a little light this morning. Can I get a quick audio check in the room? Everybody's sounding off. Everything sounds good. Okay, we'll go ahead and move forward then. All right, so welcome back. Hopefully everybody had a nice, relaxing, enjoyable Independence Day weekend. Hopefully it was an extended weekend for those. But overall, we are back in the marketplace. We're trying to get our feet back established on what the market has to give this week. And we will see what opportunities we can take advantage of. So with that, my name is Jared. This is Engineering the Markets. It is July 6th, 2021. Let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, so last week, we ended the week quite strong. We ended with sort of the momentum in the market continuing. And that's going to be our theme for this week until we see a change inside of the structure of this move. So far this market has been pushing. We've had a all-time high breakout as of last week. That all-time high breakout was met with some very short-term testing and just overall confirmation that the high of day was going to, the all-time high was going to hold. And so far the momentum has really picked up in the market, facilitated by specifically heightened volume, which lets us know that momentum traders and overall investors are currently in control. Now, gain seems really high in the room. Just double checking my audio again, but I'll keep going while we debug that. So last week, we also talked about this idea that marketplaces like to oftentimes be in a state of what's expected and what's not. The idea of balance versus imbalance, excess versus balance, whatever you want to call it. Different marketplaces have different ways to define whether a market is in balance or in excess. And one of the ways to view this was brought to our attention last couple of weeks with the idea of the SPX, which is the S&P 500 index, and using the option market expected move to showcase whether the market is hitting within an expected range. This is a normal standard deviation sort of. Most of the time, the price action should close within this area. And whenever the market tends to exceed this range, oftentimes it is led by continual exceedings of this range. The idea is that once you get out of balance, market often gets more volatile. The market often stays out of balance for a period of time. And then usually there's some sort of corrective phase to get things back into a stable, essentially perspective, whatever that happens to be. Now, with the SPX, as I pull the chart back, we can see that the past 2 weeks, marked by these red sort of range lines, has actually exceeded the expected move twice, both times to the upside. We had a breach that started when we first started plotting these ranges, and this was this candle close here on Friday. That's going to be June 25th. So that close was higher than the expected move high of 42.56. We then had a secondary breach last week, and that was on July 2nd with the expected move high being 43.34. that move obviously was breached by approximately an additional 20 points in the SPX. Now, once again, for those unfamiliar with the option market, this can seem a little bit arbitrary. Where are these numbers coming from? What does this mean? How can we look to this as some sort of indication of what's to come? And for those who are unfamiliar with how to get this, oftentimes you simply have to look at the option market expected move for the week upcoming. You normally would want to do this on the Friday close so that you have all of the data from the current week, and you can see the expected move before the market opens on the following week. What I tend to do in this platform is I go to Analyze, I go to the Think Back, and I simply pull the date back to the Friday or the Saturday, showing that the market has closed inside of the sort of look back process of this tool. And all I'm doing is grabbing the next week's series expected move, which is listed here. So last week, the SPX closed at about 43.52. That is obviously the breach of the previous expected move, and then we had a 3-point pullback of all-time highs at about 43.55. Next week, we are looking at an expected move of 42 points higher or lower. Once again, this is a range. It is not directional in nature, although there are other ways to find some sort of skew or probability to one direction. But the expected move for the total week of July 9th close is about 42 points based on the prior close of the market last Friday. When we plot this on a chart, what we're seeing is that while the market is moving higher and while the market is breaching expected moves, the option market is actually reducing the expected move range or the volatility of the overall weekly market week in and week out. Now, this week is an exception. We do have a shortened week as we are starting on the Tuesday, but overall, it is showing that the option market has been sort of a poor indication of expected movement in this market, leading to these breaches and leading to some additional momentum volatility that we've seen to the upside. You can think of this as the same way as if we were starting to correct sharply to the downside. These daily or intraday movements have been significant in range, but also have opened and closed opposite each other. This is an indication, once again, of a very strong rally to the upside and a lot of momentum-based trading. So moving forward, this market so far has some short-term areas of interest that we can start to just identify and look to if we are looking to spot a potential short-term top inside of the market. Now, obviously, the trend is your friend, as some people are starting to say in the chat. I can obviously say that that's been true for the past couple of years. But overall, inside of these trends, we are looking for more sharp pullbacks and specifically periods of time in the market where a top is set, usually facilitated by either some large event or just a general lack of momentum. And these tops can be set such that they are not breached or tested for an extended period of time, typically weeks to months. Now, we are not in the same position as we were in back in let's see, September. I think this is going to be August of last year. We also have different leading stocks. Specifically, the big tech sector is starting to carry us to these new all-time highs, whereas last year, big tech was in play, but they were coming off of COVID lows, and there was a specific sort of large technology bullish markup period inside of the market. Now we are seeing these big tech stocks more breaking out of their longer term consolidation that has occurred since some of these highs have been set. So for example, or actually before we get to that, just to show on the shorter term time frames of the SPY, we have this general trend line that I'll go ahead and leave marked until we see breaches of this. We also have our previous all-time high, the sort of swing high before we had a sharp sort of liquidation break in the market, very intense pullback down to mid-range, about the 415 area. We did breach it slightly lower. And then of course the immediate correction that occurred, leading us to new all-time highs. Now, some stocks that are obviously assisting us with this rally are none other than one of our biggest stocks in the SPY, Apple. Now, Apple had set this sort of swing high, this massive top that had been in place in the market for a long period of time. And that's going to be specifically this candle here, which was set on 9/2 of last year. You can see that as we've approached this top multiple times, we've had both failures to breach. These are obviously short-term tests of this area, previous supply zone that the market is unable to get over. We even have attempts to break out set up by trend structure, and this obviously leads to false breakouts and then the eventual rollover that we had experienced back in March. So seeing these levels and noting that they are still relevant even 1 year or approximately 1 year later is a testament to the fact that these significant swing highs are key levels that the market tends to respect for that time frame as the market is still moving higher. So while the SPY, while the Qs made new all-time highs throughout the periods of late 2020 into 2021, with obviously some volatility in between, Apple, for example, never really broke this September swing high, and that is a testament to the momentum move that sets the top of the range. Now, what is interesting, and of course it's showcased pretty clearly here on the chart, is that we are starting to move past this level. We have done so in the past, obviously, with this false breakout, and we will be watching this accordingly, as we should, because Apple has had, once again, a very strong recovery off of a pullback to the 200 period moving average. But specifically, this breach of this level, the fact that the breach is occurring on elevated volume, and the fact that the market is at all-time highs in a momentum sort of move to the upside, is a way for us to see if Apple does X or Y, if Apple starts to do another false breakout. If the SPY starts to pull back, does Apple react the same way? These are ways for us to sort of gauge where the strength in the market is occurring, and if the market is starting to collapse or set a significant top, we should see stocks like Apple doing the same. That is the case in September last year. That is a case we can carry forward. And once again, we should see that across multiple stocks, specifically sectors that are currently carrying this momentum to the upside. Now, not every stock is the same, of course. We have stocks like Microsoft, not nearly in the same position as Apple. We pull things back just to a weekly and look back in the September timeframe. While this was a relevant top for Microsoft, Microsoft has since breached this area. We've already seen the market move from here and essentially confirm that this is no longer the trading range, as we have trended on the weekly for essentially the entire second quarter of this year. But in the same sense, can we find moments in time where the momentum has essentially exhausted itself to the upside, and these stocks start to pull back in the same way that the overall market should react accordingly? Essentially, you know, all stocks leading in the same direction, setting a more significant top of the market, and obviously we can trade that trading range accordingly depending on how it establishes itself. So looking at the markets today, we obviously have this bullish formation and structure in tech. We also see it in our more risk-on sectors like consumer discretionaries, forming an all-time high as of last Friday. That is a very notable breach of this area, leading us to potentially double this expected range. We also have some interesting sectors like healthcare, which have already been breaking all-time highs as of last week and continuing their strong momentum move, putting in two large range candles on the breakout. So we have some interesting sectors that are carrying us forward. And what we were looking at is the sectors that were strong, the sectors that were carrying this market higher and higher. Are they at the very least holding their current price levels, or are they starting to roll over? Are we seeing strong sector rotation, which typically leads to a market trading more within a range? So far, we have seen things like financials, very strong recovery, and looking to potentially get back above things like the 50-period moving average on the daily, which would be a nice indication that maybe this sector can once again start to just follow along with the market, not necessarily lead it, not be the core reason for the upside, but ultimately just a participant in the strength. Now, obviously, this has not occurred yet. We are seeing a little bit of chop and consolidation under these two key moving averages on the daily. And you can see that while the market is going much higher as of Friday, financials are not participating as of yet. That is a notable deviation from previous price action that we've seen historically, where the markets moved much higher and financials actually were leading that move. Another similar sector is going to be industrial, same basic structure, but financials kind of having sort of the key inflection points. This is one to watch as the Dow, once again, has had that V recovery, but we are coming back into this area of previous resistance. So ultimately, how much strength does this have? Will this cause some just short-term consolidation in the market, and will tech still be leading at that time? That should be seen within the next couple of days. Okay, odd index out. I wanted to look at the IWM briefly. As the QQQ, as the SPY is at all-time highs, we note that the IWM is close to, but not at all-time highs, not breaking out as of yet. We do have this very rough diagonal downtrend resistance line, so just a general area of resistance, setting up more of a structure of this market. But more notable than that, if we go to something like Analyze, or trying to remember which tab it is now, Market Watch, here we go. So if we go to something like Market Watch, we go to the Visualize tab and we pull up a heat map of the Russell 2000. There have been some adjustments to this index that we should take note of because they are relatively large adjustments. We see things like AT&T is now a key component of the communication service industry inside of the Russell. We see things like Ford holding significant market cap. Ford has been an outperformer this year. We have seen some bullish momentum inside of that company, but overall, this is going to be one of our key players moving forward. And if we pull up just a general list of the Russell 2000, we go ahead and filter it by market cap, or sort it by market cap, I should say. Our third stock is AMC. Now, for those who are not familiar, AMC has been quite volatile over the month of May into June, and now we're in July. AMC is still trading within a relatively large trading range. Now, each and every day that this occurs, each and every time that we get significant movement in AMC, the market cap does change quite significantly, and this does affect the performance of IWM. If AMC is to break higher from this area, if we see another sort of momentum move out of this consolidation range and look to approximately the $65 level as sort of the breakout level that most people are watching, if AMC does this, then we would expect the IWM to have some additional strength. If AMC, however, does not go through a breakout phase and starts to either roll over or just slowly start to fade lower without any significant demand, then ultimately other areas of the IWM would need to pick up that slack. Now, this is just one company. Obviously, the IWM is composed of numerous companies, each of which can facilitate intraday and daily level breakouts and structure changes, but it is notable that the third largest company is one of the companies that we are looking as a more volatile name, as opposed to stocks like Ford and AT&T, which trade a little bit more normal, I would say. So something to keep on watch and to note. Just double checking, we're still looking at audio here. But so far, IWM remains in this area. We are near all-time highs. We are seeing if there's going to be any sort of monetary flow inside of the small caps, and this should lead us to, once again, if all sectors and all indexes are moving higher, then we'll have a very strong bullish and sort of a full court momentum move to the upside, which can lead to, once again, a significant top if things all correct at the same time. Usually, everything correlated to one side will often lead to that correlation correcting all markets at the same time. Whereas in the past, we've seen separate markets, some leading, some lagging, and that has led to range-bound trading inside of the markets. All right, now finally, a couple of opportunities that we're looking at, more intraday, maybe more for swing, and some interesting developments for some of the correlations that we've been watching for a period of time. We're looking at the dollar, and we're seeing the dollar did have a key breakout that occurred a couple of weeks back on June 16th, apparently. This breakout led to a significant collapse of the metals market. Specifically, gold and silver took a very large hit to the downside. Now, the idea was simple. If the dollar kept moving higher, then we would expect the metals market to overall underperform, as that has been the correlation for the past couple of months. The dollar moving down, and specifically this long downtrend that did occur throughout April and May, this led gold quite significantly from the 1650s all the way up to mid 1900s, and that was a very significant piece of range for the gold market to capture. We saw this consolidation into the breakout that obviously broke the gold and silver trend, and that led to that collapse. What we're seeing now short term is one that's worth mentioning and a little bit interesting. We're seeing the dollar hold these price levels, ultimately kind of curling, making a new swing high. Not a lot of follow through at this time, but ultimately still setting a new price level high. Keep that in mind as we switch to the gold chart. We are also seeing gold react, but not in the way that we would expect. We see that similar to the dollar, gold was starting to look like a new swing low was going to be made, maybe additional selling, potentially starting to test this area of a breakout, which it did. But an interesting formation has occurred. We've reversed from this area. And what's even more notable is the strength of this reversal. The fact that the dollar really hasn't done much in the past weekly session. We can look at a weekly candle to kind of showcase that DXY over this week has had sort of an open, a move higher, a close. We're still somewhat trading inside the previous weekly candle with a test of some of the upper price levels. But gold has been making this strong sort of reversal back to test this general downtrend area. Now, short term, this may be the only long opportunity that we may get. We've seen this area be tested. This was a notable range near the lows of the gold downtrend. This led to that April into May rally. And this range was something we analyzed quite heavily as this was forming. The fact that we've tested it and the fact that so far the reaction has been one of positivity back to the upside, specifically while the dollar really has not moved from its current price levels, may be showing us that one, in the short term, this correlation is starting to fall apart. We're not seeing sort of the same intraday correlation where every single up move in the dollar leads to a down move in gold and vice versa. Gold may actually be calling the dollar's bluff to some degree and saying, yes, you've moved higher. Yes, you've had sort of a significant counter trend rally, but the overall posture of the dollar is still one of a downtrend. We're still seeing pressure from monetary policy leading to the dollar's weakness overall. And while short term, this may have been a correction in both the gold market and the dollar market, the posture of the metals so far is showing a potential sign that this is short term and will eventually start to go in the core direction, which is dollar down, gold up. Now, obviously, very early to tell, but this very small sort of shift from a normal correlation and the fact that it is occurring so strongly inside of gold is something to watch. Ultimately, for gold traders or for metal traders in general, we are back at price levels that haven't been seen until early April of this year. So this test, this sort of move away, this strong push, and the fact that we are starting to correct the correction, essentially walking back up this downdraft that we had in the metals market, along with silver starting to play along, always following the gold market overall, but silver having a similar move counter to the collapse that occurred, maybe showing us that that was in this short term more of a bear trap than something of significance to the downside. Now, very early to tell, just something to watch, but it is always interesting to see correlations break, because those often can lead to those alternate thesis trade ideas. And these often can be quite powerful, as most market participants are thinking in one direction. They're thinking dollar down, gold up, dollar up, gold down. They keep that correlation in the back of their mind. If that ever changes, then usually the opposite effect occurs, and it can occur quite strongly. So something to watch, something of interest. Um, Finally, we're still looking at crude and natural gas from last week. These are still key commodity assets that are providing some strength to the energy markets. XLE, XOP specifically for oil, and then oil and gas exploration, respectively. We are at some points of inflection from historical price levels, but crude is still printing new higher highs. We're just keeping this on watch to see if this ever does change, and if we get into more of a consolidative phase after a strong rally. So with that said, I'm Jared. This is Engineering the Markets. Lot to cover, a lot to discuss on this first day of this week, but we have a lot to look forward to this week. It is a short trading week, smaller expected move, markets in a lot of momentum, sort of buying. Let's see how much we can go to the upside before some true selling starts to step into this market, which so far we have not seen. So with that said, take it easy, trade safe, and we'll talk more tomorrow. Stay tuned for pre-market prep with Carlos and Norm.
Good morning, brother. I cannot, now I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh,
Yep.
yes, loud and clear. All right, guys. Good morning, guys. Welcome to pre-market prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope you guys had an amazing July 4th weekend. So, good morning, Norm. How are you today?
I'm good, man. I'm a little tired. These 3-day weekends,
Yes.
especially during the summer out in the sun at pools, lake, all that stuff, late for fireworks. But I'm good. How are you? How was the meetup?
Oh, meetup was amazing, man. We had such an amazing
Nice.
time, and I am just getting my voice back from all
I know that
the
feeling.
talking with members. You know how it is. We go from,
Yeah.
not having any interaction or as much interactions with people, and then we have this meetup. Especially with the pandemic, and it just felt great, man, to just be
Yeah.
out and about. A sense of normality, and we had such an amazing turnout for Thor's 40th birthday and for the meetup
Yeah.
there. I mean,
Awesome.
there was it was a New York meetup, but man, it really felt like a New Jersey meetup because there was so many people from New Jersey there. And again, it's just an amazing time, guys. So I'm gonna show some pictures rolling around. If you guys have pictures and want to put them up on Twitter or Instagram, just make sure you tag at Bearboot Traders on either one of those, or also put the hashtag BBT BBT family or hashtag Bearboot Traders, so we can get a look at that. And then maybe tomorrow we'll share some pictures for everyone here. All right, guys, let's get into this morning. We have an amazing gappers list. Let's just make sure, yeah, it is live here.
We
And
have a
it is
long with gappers list.
also, oh
I don't
yeah,
know about. I don't know about amazing.
yes,
We'll see.
I definitely meant long and not amazing because I haven't gone through these yet. So we'll look at them at the first time here. But yeah, definitely long on both sides, guys. We'll see what is really brewing in here. We got a couple of low floats on the gapping up list, a couple that we've been watching since last week that have been pretty active and pretty insane. We'll see how that is set out there. But before we do so, Norm, what is the latest and greatest in the overall market coming into today and this week?
I mean, coming off a holiday weekend, not much to say. A couple of pieces of economic data, some services PMI numbers out later, 9:45 and 10. I mean, but overall, relatively flat. Jarad did a great dive this morning into the markets. We had this breakout from our consolidation over the last week or so. So we'll see how it continues. We'll see how much volume there is in the markets this week. Maybe a little. We'll see how these tickers act this morning. I do want to say, and I apologize for this. I mentioned it to Carlos earlier this morning, but I have a computer issue. I've got 2 monitors down, so I'm only operating on 4. I feel like somebody has cut my arm off, and I'm operating at about half speed. So I might not be as able to contribute as I usually am, but I'll do what I can.
Yeah, it does make a big difference when we're watching so many things in a short period of time. So 2 monitors that's a big deal, man. That is a big
Well,
deal.
I mean, and people are like, you only have 4. Well, yeah, if I was only trading, that would be one thing. But to do the morning show with you, to do the research that I do for the show, to monitor YouTube, everything else, it makes it's actually, frankly, difficult to do it with only 4. So
Yeah, I agree 100%.
I do have tennis on. Yes.
A lot of people always say, "Oh, how many monitors do you need? Or how powerful is your computer?" But our computers are not set up just for trading, right? You don't need that much for trading. We're doing a whole lot more. All right, guys, let's get to it. Let's start with some of the low flows. The BLIN, guys, very active, up 50% today. 9.1 million shares traded. So this thing is definitely running nicely here. A 6.4 million shares flow. I'm going to add this one on here. This one's trading very nice this morning. Had a great day on Friday as well, guys. We had a lot of low flows Friday that traded very, very, very clean. If you guys remember that, BLNI was one of them. Emrin was another one, guys. Emrin just, again, right now going. This thing was sitting around $2, not just 2 weeks ago. Last week we went from 10 to about 20, and today we are hitting 27 with an amazing pre-market action. So these two were both very active on Friday as well. They're looking very good this morning. Let's just see what CUEN. This one, it's another low flow that's been very active, but it hasn't been clean as these other two. This Emrin and this BLNI, those are looking amazing. We'll keep those on deck. And let's see this other one, SQBG. No, that doesn't look good. Looks like a big day. Oh no, this is today. So today's kind of got some stuff going on, but horrible pre-market action. I don't really like what I'm seeing here. Let's get the 5 minutes just in case. Yeah, it's not great. These two are really looking better. This probably could get better later on, but right now not looking all that exciting. All right, we'll stop here. So that's the low flows gapping up this morning. Let's take a look at some regular stocks. We have VSQR. This one is on here. This is also not that clean. We had one good day on this one. Outside of that, hasn't been great. So I'm just gonna stick with these two guys. I think these two are more than enough right now. Their pre-market action has everything going on for them. I love their daily because they've been on a nice uptrend, nice continuation here. They're not gapping down. It's just kind of moving sideways. They are really on the move here. So looking very nice there. Here is WB this morning. They are up 31%. Not a low flow stock, sitting at 121,000. This is Weibo Corporation. Not sure what they do, but flow is 124. It might be worth taking a look at here. Some very funky price action in the pre-market now, guys. They're up to 32%, and they're moving through these prices like they're pennies or something here, from 54 over to 70. That's a very, very big move. Yeah, we'll see what happens here.
They're trying to. I believe they're going to So this is like Twitter of China, and I believe it's going to be taken private. So
Are you
it's
seeing this price action? I mean, wow. This thing is dropping from 70 to 64. Guys, please be very careful if you're trading this in the pre-market. This is the type of stuff that blows up accounts, right? And there's no halt on this. I mean, this thing can go from
yeah,
70 to 50, no problem in the
yeah,
pre-market.
geez.
You know, it's
Yeah,
just
that's
yeah,
terrifying, frankly.
yeah,
There's
yeah, it's scary stuff.
hmm
So, guys, be very, very careful here with this. I will not be touching this if it trades like this. That
and the
is
spread
just
it's hard to see what the spread is because it's moving so quickly around, but it's
it's
looks
not
like it's
great, man.
popping pretty high at times. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd be real careful on that. I've never seen that stock trade like that. So,
me
these
neither. Yeah,
Chinese companies, there's this undercurrent of all this. It really, that Didi, right after the IPO, the Chinese government came out and said it's under investigation for cybersecurity issues and such, and tanked that one. So the government crackdown on some of these are hitting some things.
yeah. And this is why we stay away from these type of stocks, guys. Because look what's happening here. You had this. Let me get my pen out because this is important, especially if you're starting out. Why sometimes just the numbers don't do justice to a stock, right? If you come in here, you look at, we're up about 30%, not only 12. We were at 3.8 at that time, and this looked very good. You had this pop here. It comes down to the moving averages, right? Before this drop, you think it's supporting here, and then look what happens here in a matter of just minutes. You're down about $10 there, guys. So this is why some of these stocks that that are just horrible, you got to stay away from them, no matter how good they look. I'm sure there's a lot of people hurting right now because of this huge drop. There's just no support at all happening. Just be very careful with something like that. We won't add that to the list, guys. I don't think it's really tradable. I'm gonna get rid of it. All right, let's look at CCXI this morning. These guys are up 18.4, 1.1 million shares traded. Right now, pre-market action looks decent. I mean, it's starting to do something. Let's see if it can get better. For the most part, their daily is very horrible. They don't trade very well. We've seen this in the past before. I'm not going to add it. I'm just hoping we can find something better. OCGN this morning, they're looking pretty good on the pre-market right now. 2 million shares traded, up 16%. I wish this would have been better, but not too bad. Daily does look interesting. If we get rid of some of these levels here, we got our highs and lows down here. We got a nice daily possible breakout here. If we can continue to get above 9, stay above 850, that would be nice. We're kind of flirting with that right now. That could be something. OCGN, we'll throw that on there. WB, guys, again, I just don't know what to do with that. CUEN, this is 4 million shares flow. It's starting to come alive here a little bit, though. You can see here coming up against the high of the pre-market, so that is good. Maybe. Let's see if it trades good today. AU, this morning, we had this in our stock before. I don't know if they're foreign, but they trade horrible intraday. So
It's gold,
it's what it is. Yeah, they're ghosts. They're not really a great ticker to intraday trade.
South African gold miner.
Yeah, there's some other gold tickers or ETFs you can trade if you want to trade that are a whole lot better, more liquid, right? So XQBG, we looked at that low flash, now trading very well. Apps, this one doesn't look great, up 4% right now, 137,000 shares traded. Yeah, pre-market doesn't look good. Had a bad day on Friday, which seemed to be nice. Got some okay volume, 11 million. It's not great, but okay. I don't see anything exciting right now this morning. AMC, what do we got going on here? So AMC right now continues to stay between this range, this level here at around 52 or so is pretty strong for AMC. The few times that it has dipped below that has managed to make its way back up above that. So it loves staying above that 52, 51.96 to be exact, 52 around there. And then the top of this range, you have two here. You have this one here, which we talked about before, which is going to be around 58 or so. And then you have the higher range, which is here. We were there for a little bit when we were doing this consolidation. We kind of tightened things up a little more here the last couple of weeks right in here. So this looks like I'm writing a football player or something here. too much more.
X's and O's.
Hey, X's and O here, turn to the left here, ORB, around 5 minutes. You're good to go. Touchdown.
You got a month or so until it cranks up.
Yes, we do. So, guys, AMC, I am going to add that it can be very, very explosive. 1.5 right now, up 3%. I know it's stuck within this range. I can't wait till AMC breaks out one way or another. But as I mentioned before, within this range, we've seen some really, really good trading out of AMC anyway. All right, heading down, we got Mara, we got Riot on here. They are both up slightly this morning. Their day looks interesting. I'm just going to add Riot as a possible. They seem to have a slightly better pre-market activity. Let's see if something comes out of the Bitcoin stuff there. Again, Wish throws a lot of volume around, but it hasn't been trading well. But I like the volume on it. I'll add it as a possible. Might not stay there, but we'll see. FCX this morning, they are not doing anything, guys. Daily looks interesting, so I know some of you guys are looking at this for a possible breakout. Might be today, but this is a good one to wait for the scanners to come in with volume. I'm not seeing that in the pre-market right now. Even this 722 has not been trading very well. This is not clean volume, even with that 722. So their daily does look very interesting. Let's see if that breakout can get going. Here's gold. Again, gold must be up, right? We got a couple of things here. This was up 2.2. Again, I think the ETFs are a little bit better to trade.
I'd go ETF and sell those individual companies usually.
Yep. All right, gapping down this morning. VB, excuse me. This one here is down 22%. We saw this sometime last week. It didn't trade very well, guys. Volume is very, very light. I'm going to stay away from it this week again as well. So again, just don't like what I'm seeing there. BZ this morning, this is down 10%. Daily doesn't look great. Recent IPO looks like we do have shares for short on it. I just don't like what I see in the pre-market right now. Maybe this can get better. I mean, this is an IPO that's struggling. We'll take a second look at that. Tiger this morning, they are very, very active, guys. 1.1 million shares traded right now. Their daily, I do like their daily here. It seems to be slamming up against this area of support and resistance right on there. So interesting. Let's take a second look at Tiger right on here. TIGR. There we go. And then here we have TAD. TAD is the 3 million that was very active on Friday. Not looking so hot this morning, guys. They're down 8.8. I think the two low flows to look at right now is Emrin. They got some great stuff, and a BLIN. They're looking really good today. Futu here today. They are down 7.2. 325 million shares traded. I know a lot of people like this one. I'm going to add it on here. We'll put Futu there.
They like it just because of how you say it to me.
I know. I know. I think some people just throw it out just so I could see if I could slip up and say it the way it was born. Tau here this morning is down 4.3, 644,000. Guys, you know how we feel about this one. There's just, if this is the stock that's on our watch list, man, we got to be careful, right? I think there's better stuff that we can watch than this. Atos, I don't like it as much. Had a nice day on Friday here. Nice big drop on Friday. I don't like it as much. Daily seems to be collapsing here. We're in a beautiful downtrend. We keep losing all these good levels. That could be interesting. It is on short selling restriction. We do have shares for short. Let's take a second look at it. I know I'm not a big fan of it, but their daily could be interesting here if we continue to drop down towards some of these levels. All right, let's look at XPEF. I know they've been pretty active the last couple of days. Right now, they are down 4.2. I like XPEF. I'm going to add it on there. I think EVs has been very fun to watch, guys, over the last couple of days. They've been very, very active. We're going to take a look at NEO. I like NEO's daily here as well. I like their pre-market action. So I don't think they're excellent or great, but I like the way they're setting up right now. And again, EV's just been in play overall. Here's Tesla. Tesla has been just stuck on this consolidation, right, over the last couple of days. So we'll see what happens there. I think it's one, if you like Tesla, it's one to keep an eye on. But right now, it's just kind of stuck within this consolidation at the moment. All right, going back to our list here. Here is LI, another one as well. Very active. You can watch this one if you like. I'm going to stick with NEO and XPEF. We'll do those. PDD, guys, not a great trading stock. I mean, it's not a great intraday trading stock. They have a couple of times they traded very well. I do love the daily, though. It looks like we're about to lose this area of support here. We lost the 120, which was a nice area of support. We held that for some time here. So it could be interesting. It's just the way this stock trades at times, it's just not great. I'll put it on here because I know someone's going to throw it out. We'll take a look at it later again. Baidu this morning, they are down 2.8. Not a whole lot going on pre-market. NEO, we have JD. Let's take a look here. Pre-market is okay. IQ, I haven't seen IQ in some time here. Also another one that's not looking great in the pre-market. They're down. They're all down today. JD and IQ.
Yeah, like 80% of our down list is Chinese stuff.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, so it's something's going on there. But again, these don't trade very well unless they get amazing volume, guys. So I'm not really going to add them right now. All right, let's take a look. Norm, anything you like on your end before we go to the chat room?
Yeah, I got a couple of things. I don't know if I'll be able to trade, like I said, with the computer situation. Didi, they're getting hammered. Same story on this regulation. China issue. And then a couple of people have called out NVIDIA. It's been awesome on the daily. It's been super strong. You know, if that is your cup of tea, you might have another good day on it. It doesn't have great pre-market volume, but you know, it's not too uncommon for that this early. So we'll see.
Yep, agree. It's amazing how strong this stock has been, guys. I mean, it's just incredible the run they had here in the last couple of months. It's just amazing. But you're right. It takes a different style of trading NVIDIA. You got to really know how to do that style. So just be careful. Don't try to trade this like you would trade an AMD, right? It just doesn't work that way. So be very careful. Here's talking about AMD. AMD has been incredible, guys. I mean, this thing, I'm going to watch it. They're not doing a whole lot right now pre-market, but they have been trading so well and so clean. I am definitely going to add AMD here. Let's take a look at a big one that I know a couple of people are going to throw out. It's probably Apple. And I think Apple's another one you can keep an eye on. So no, it's been very, very strong, guys. So again, today might be a day we just watch some of the regular stocks that been hot and see if anything comes up there, right? Let's not force anything. All right, guys, let's take a look here. Terry, Apple, we do have perfect. That is looking good. WB Random Sabin, if I'm saying that correctly.
Well, that's what we've been talking about. That's the crazy one. And
apparently
the company then came out and said the reports are going private are not true. So who knows, man? This thing's wild. It's got red flags all over it.
Yeah.
I know some people shorted it. Somebody mentioned they shorted it and then they chickened out, which I don't blame them for that. It wouldn't shock me to see, you know, even if it continues down, to see some squeezes here and there. Yeah. So,
I mean, look at this drop, guys. Right? We lost 70. We came down to 60. That's $10. And then the pullback. Even if this continues on a downtrend here, which it can. The pullback goes to 68. So even if you have a great entry at 62, are you going to hold through a $6 pullback? I mean, it depends on your trading style. Or if you take 10 shares, maybe. But is that really worth your time now, right? So again,
who knows? It's just not worth it.
Not worth
There's
it.
There's other better stuff, cleaner that you can, you know, not just be a crapshoot.
Michael, you're giving us Microsoft. Let's take a look here at Microsoft this morning. I think it's similar to Apple, NVIDIA. These stocks are all really, really hot right now. I prefer to watch Apple, guys. And I'll keep in mind Microsoft or anything else. But I think Apple on the tech side, it looks really good. They got some good volume right now already. And they can trade just slightly better than Microsoft. But if you like Microsoft, again, kind of like we mentioned, if you like NVIDIA, for example, I know John, I know Mike, I know their trading style is a little bit different than Norm and I. They like NVIDIA. They like Microsoft quite a bit for their strategy. If you like that, you know, put it on there. BSQR we looked at, guys. I don't like this low flow stock. I think it trades pretty crappy. I think the ones we have down here, Emrin, BLIN. If you're looking for low flow, I think these are the ones that are really hot this morning. BSQR could be a secondary low flow if you have that much room for a list. Space this morning could be interesting, guys. They've been trading pretty wide candles here the last couple of days, right? So we're back at this area of support right now. Pre-market actions got some great volume. I don't think they're really in play. I'm gonna wait for them to hit the scanners. They could be, though, actually a good secondary, right? There's some stuff on here we could take off very quickly. They probably could be a good secondary and see where space wants to go next. SWBI, not a whole lot of going on here, guys. Volume is extremely light, only 27. Heading on down to, what else do we have? Space. Yep, we have space on there. I think it could be a good secondary for now. And it could change. It could get going in a matter of seconds, right? So we'll have to see what happens there. All right, what else, guys? What else do we have? All right, we'll stop here and we'll go over to our YouTube chat. Let's start over here. AMD is on deck, guys. It's looking very good this morning. Has been trading very well, so I have that there. BZ, I put on here as a possible. I don't like the pre-market action. I like that they're an IPO and that we do have shares for short, and we might be losing, you know, their IPO price here. So that could be interesting. But their pre-market action is not probably worth having on this list, to be honest. But we might drop this one off. Tiger, we do have. They are listed right on here, guys, on our main list. So for the most part, they got a great pre-market action. I like their daily slamming down against this area of prior support. We bounced out of that a few times here. Prior resistance, so that's good. Let's see where it goes. Pre-market action is very active on Tiger this morning. I do like that one. Heading down here, AMD, we do have Apple. We do have, yes, I think Apple like AMD, like Neo, like Nvidia. I think these are stocks that we can keep on our list, especially as volume dies down in in a lot of the many other stocks. These stocks tend to keep their, relatively high volume compared to everything else. AMD is good. Starbucks, XBUX. We only really watch Starbucks when it has a catalyst, and they don't look like they have one today. It's just 5,000 shares not going to do it.
No.
Do you, my friend? Yes. This one here is
down
yeah, there you go. This is down 7.4, 346,000 shares traded. I don't like the daily on this, guys, at all. And even the pre-market action with 350 is not looking great. So, and I think we looked at this in the past, and I can't recall how I traded, but I don't remember being too.
It's been a while. We haven't traded.
It's been a while, right?
I mean, this is just the same Chinese story, really.
So if anything, just watch DD, right? I think this is the one that has the best volume right now. So yeah, we'll skip on down for now. All right, here we go, guys. We're looking at Tau. We looked at AXLA. Let's see what we have here. No, I don't like this pre-market action at all. I hate this pop, right? When you get this pop here early on, they just come down and go sideways on stock that have a horrible daily and extremely light volume, guys. I mean, there's not a day here since the beginning of the year that's above 6 million. Right, and the majority are even lower. So I don't like stocks like that, especially at a lower price. I don't even know what the float is, but already, even if whatever it is, it's not good. Actually, it's a lower flow, so it makes it even worse. Right, that makes it even worse. You want to see a lot more action than this. I saw someone in our chat room throw Snap. What do we have here? Let's take a look at Snap this morning. Interesting daily on Snap, guys. Possible breakout. Their pre-market action is okay, but their daily.
That chart is abysmal, dude.
This is this is so good. But here,
it's beautiful on the daily.
Yeah. Good here, not so good. This can break out anytime. Again, it's getting tighter and tighter here, so that's nice. But I'm not sure if it's worth enough to put it on our list. It would be nice to have it on our scanners, that's for sure. So we've been to look out. We know Snap. If Snap, well, this is one thing about Snap though. If it is going to break out, the volume is going to be very, very high. It will hit our scans, right? So you're probably not going to miss it, and somebody's going to watch it. So I'm not going to add it on right now because this does look pretty bad, and this might not happen today, right? It might just be very choppy. Riot we do have on deck, guys, so that is good. How much time we have? Let's do another 2 minutes here. A couple of more here. Neo, with Neo we have actually expert we have, so thank you for that. EE, what do we have there? No, see, this is what I hate here. See the pop, and then just kind of starts dropping down. This is no good. Probably a low flow stock, but when you see this is not what you want to be looking forward to here. Now, can we be completely off and this thing can find a base and take off? Yes, but the likelihood of that happening is not great. And at the open, you'd rather watch something that's going to be a little bit better. Let's take a look at Facebook here. Facebook, similar to Snapchat we just saw here, just kind of going sideways a little bit here. This is also has higher lows as well, slamming up against this area. But again, it's just no action in the pre-market. We'll need volume for that to take place. And if it does, Facebook doesn't get as great volume as Snap, but it should hit our scanners either way. So, all right, guys, let's stop here. I think we have a pretty decent list, and I'm probably going to keep a lot of the ones we've been talking about, Apple, AMD, Neo, DD, AMC. We'll see how we end up with this. Let's go over to announcements. Oh, Brandon, thank you for that, man. Thank you for the super chat.
Very much.
I appreciate you.
He's asking that you look at PUBG.
He is. All right, we will definitely. If you do a super chat, we will look at your ticker for sure.
Or what is maybe it? Talking about gaming. I don't know.
Is that a ticker or is that a game?
I don't see it.
PUBG. I know it's a game because my nephews love it, but yeah, it's not a ticker. So. Thank you so much for that super chat, guys. Let's go over to our community announcements. We'll come back and fine-tune this list.
All right, guys, quick weekly rundown. Usually we have Brian's swing trade discussion 2:30 on Mondays, but we'll probably have that today. Onboarding. Carlos is doing the live onboarding class and then technology immediately following that. That'll be at 6 p.m. this evening. It's usually on Monday nights. So 6 to 8, you'll have onboarding and tech, and then you will have the success webinar this evening. Tuesday, Thursday at noon, you have Eamon's trade reviews in the classroom, success webinars. And tonight, like I said, Success webinar, and then psychology on Wednesday. Then Thursday, you've got mentoring with Thor at 11 a.m., 8 p.m. 11 a.m. with Andrew, 8 p.m. with Thor. And then, of course, Fridays, I believe it's 11 a.m. Is the crypto discussion with Jarad. And I have to redo this slide, but I haven't found yet how to put it in there. And we have so many things going on that, it's going to be off the screen if I do it that way. Anyway, all right, success webinar. Tonight, 5 p.m. Eastern. Note the special. How are you doing the other at 6? Oh, okay, because he's at 5, so you're doing it afterward. Breakouts trading by Eamon. That's 5 p.m. this evening. And then next week, you're going to have Thor at 8 p.m. talking about how to read the level 2. See, I told you I was tired and worn out after the weekend, man. I have all my I do have all my fingers, though.
That is the most important thing. Part. And we hope you guys were pretty safe out there, man, and take care of yourself. Just a quick break. Harry, thank you for the super chat, man. Appreciate you. You've been in the BBT chat, just sending us a super chat and have had to say.
Thank you, Harry. F you to you.
Having a little fun this morning.
Oh, yeah. All right. So Thor's level 2 is next week, 8 p.m. on Tuesday. Psychology, tomorrow night, you've got Dr. Reed talking about the wisdom of Mark Douglas. That'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you want to participate in the member trade of the day, trade of the week, take a screenshot of your best trade of the day, post it on Twitter, tagging at Bearable Traders, at MikeB_BBT, and at NormBBTS. Also use the hashtags BBT family, day trading, and stock market. Maybe we'll add FU to you to that. See if we can get that going. Anyway, we'll announce the winner every afternoon on Twitter and in the room, and then team will vote on all those over the weekend and decide the trade of the day or trade of the week, which will be announced Monday. If you are watching on YouTube and haven't been in the chat, use the promo code PREMARKET24. It'll get you a discount off the intro membership, which is 7 calendar days, 5 trading days. Also gives you access to those onboarding classes and technology that I discussed are happening this evening and every Monday live. And speaking of tired and fireworks and my house looking like a battle zone over the weekend, my neighborhood, use the promo code Fireworks40 to get 40% off at the Elite annual membership.
All right, excellent, guys. Let's get into it here.
We're having too much fun, man.
We are having a bit of fun here, that's for sure. All right, guys, 9 a.m. Eastern time here, market time. Let's get started here. So let's look at our main watch list. OCGN, I think, is decent. We'll keep that on there. AMC, again, at any time could be explosive right now. Already great volume. Again, still keeping up above this previous day close line, which is around $52, which has been great support for the last couple of weeks here. Tiger looks good, guys. I like the drop here this morning. Great volume. We do have shares for short, and we have plenty, 10 million, so that's plenty. That's good. Neo looks good, guys. I like that one as well. DD, very, very active, guys. Continues to get going here. 20 million shares trade, so that's looking nice. And I like AMD as well for a possible breakout on the daily. This thing, I think we have a bet that this thing is going to go to 100 by the end of the week. I think Brian called it. Let's see if Brian is right. Last time Brian had a great call like this, it was, I think, on BPTH, and he said this thing can go to 80, and guess what? It went to 80 that same day. It was just madness. So here, secondary list, Apple. I want to keep an eye on Apple. NVIDIA, guys, I like NVIDIA a lot. I think it's really in play, and if you like to trade the stock, you should definitely watch it. I don't trade it very well, so I'm going to remove it from my list. But again, definitely in play this morning. Has been incredibly strong. PDD, guys, you know how we feel about this one. It could be hard to trade at times, a little bit on the choppier side. I'm going to keep it here as a positive for now. Riot, I think Bitcoin is all up slightly a little bit today, about 3% or so. Not looking great pre-market, though. And that's the thing. Riot and Mara, they have to look really good. If they do not, they can trade very crappy. So this pre-market action, we've seen better. We saw better here on the 22nd. We saw better here. I think this is the 28th. Yeah. So again, I'm not sure today what's going to happen. They're kind of pretty stuck in this consolidation. They're not moving. They're not trending at the moment. If they can break out of that, that could be nice. So for the most part, I think I'm going to remove it for now just to keep space here. Here is Wish. Wish is starting to get going again. Wish starts like this every morning, right? We've seen it already, where it just starts throwing volume around, sideways between a very wide range, right? Between 1240 this morning, started around 1120, and then it moved the range down a little bit here to 1110 to 1190 or so, right? It does this all the time with heavy volume, 2 million, 1.5, all the time. So we're seeing that again now. A couple of times that has translated to very good intraday trading, and some other times, like you see here, it has been horrible chop fest. So we'll keep it as a possible, guys. Hit or miss. Just be very careful. If you're not seeing anything that's extremely clean on this one, just don't trade it or bail on it if you're in, and what you expect to happen is not happening. Bail on it very, very quickly. BZ, guys, I don't like the pre-market action here. I mean, I like the fact that the reason IPO could lose this. I think we can find some better stuff this morning. Let's get rid of that. Futu today. Again, I don't like to trade this one as much. They're down 8%. I know a lot of people in the chat room do like this one. We'll keep it on here. Let's see what happens. I do love this drop here. We got some levels we can hopefully get to towards the bottom here, 145 or so. Just be mindful. This thing does move a lot. The spread's not too bad for a stock that moves the way this one does, right? So just be mindful with the number of shares you take here. ATOS, no, the more I look at the stuff we have, this one does not look great, so I'm going to get rid of it. XPEV this morning, I think I'm just going to keep an eye on NEO just for space, guys. I don't want to have a huge list starting this week. So for this one, I'm just going to look at NEO. I think NEO has the better volume, has the better pre-market action as well. It also has the better daily, right? If you look at NEO's daily, look how nice this looks. If you look at XPEV, again, it's just kind of a little bit more messier here. So I think NEO is cleaner for sure, especially if we're going to drop down. You have a cleaner move down with less areas of congestion and resistance. So that could provide a bigger move. If you look at XPEV, you see here you're kind of stuck into, there's a lot going on. So I'm going to keep NEO instead. But again, not saying XPEV is bad. You could keep XPEV if you like, but NEO is going to be the one I'm going to keep on deck for me. Space, guys, look at this on Friday. Huge gap up. We give it all right back, guys, and now we're just kind of hanging out here with some volume. Let's see what Space is going to do today. I really like the way it's been trading the last couple of days. Has been very, very nice. So we'll keep an eye on that. Low flow, CUEN is still looking nice here, starting to get live. Emrin is amazing, and BLIN looking good. So 3 low flows there, looking pretty nice this morning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we're good there. And we got a much better a list here. And again, I'm really going to fine tune this a little further. Sorry about that, guys. But Futu is going to come off here. Wish will keep, starting to look pretty nice there. Possibly breaking out of that broke out of that first consolidation area. Now going towards the high of the day. Let's see if we can break out of that. As much as I like PDD's daily here, I know how brutal this stock can be. So I'm just going to remove it, right? Let's remove it. There, we got a very fine-tuned list this morning. All right, OCGN today, guys. Let's take a look here. Let's do some levels. I'm not a huge fan of this one. I might drop this down to Apostle, but I am going to do levels and be ready for it. But as I fine-tune it closer to 930, this might be dropped to a secondary because I just don't like the way it trades, especially more so if it just comes down here. Right now, you're getting into the area of congestion between the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. This would have been nice if it would have stayed above 910 and kind of ripped higher. You got a couple of levels here that we can reach, but if it goes towards the bottom, I'm definitely going to drop it off. So 910 high of the pre-market. Above that, we do have this level here over at 10, and then all the way up here, guys, we have on 1104. So it seems like every whole dollar number is a good stop for this stock here. In between here, above 910, which that is what I'm looking for, that breakout. We have another great level here on 955. A couple of days using that as resistance right on there. So again, a lot of touches in here. With this mess, you do have some days opening and closing right around there. So that 910 is pretty good. And then towards the bottom, guys, you do have the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. Low of the day sitting at 815 as well. So that is OCGN for you. That is looking okay. AMC this morning, very active. Pre-market action a bit all over the place, but that's okay. We know how they can be at times. 54.36 is our high of our pre-market. Our low is kind of stuck between the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days, right? So I'm just gonna keep what I have already on there. I'm not gonna add any more. Let's see how this base finalizes out here as soon as we get to the market open. Now above the pre-market high at 54.35, which is again around that area of support that we're seeing. Above that, let's see if we can find a good midpoint level here with a lot of touches. It's probably going to be this 56.21. And again, if you draw a more solid line right on here, 56.21, you can see several days opening and closing, a couple of wicks hitting that there, so that's good. So a couple of touches there that you have right on that 56.21. So I'm going to keep that on there. I think that could be a good midpoint. And then you have above that the highs from the last, this would have been Thursday right on here, right? And then if we really get going here, if we really turn on the engines, we do have a nice one here over at 61.04 as well. Almost the top of this range, right? A lot of days opening, closing here. Yes, you do have a couple of wicks that are getting above that, but if you look at this 61, again, there's tons of touches there on that price target. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. Tiger this morning. Again, I'm not a huge fan, but this is dropping very nice, guys. And if we could lose some of these levels or even find support, this can trade very well. Low of the pre-market, 22.85. Below this, we are sitting at 22.26. And then towards the bottom here, we do have, let's go over here. Yeah, right around here, I think could be good. 2022, yeah, 2022 is nice. We have a couple of days here, support, resistance. So yeah, I think this will be good there. And then towards the bottom here, not the best daily, guys. So this is why it's taking us some time to find these levels, right? 1905, also a great area of resistance here. Tons of resistance there. A little bit of support here and there, but again, not as much as this resistance that you're seeing here on a couple of days. So we'll keep that on there. 1905 in case this thing does decide to take a dive. If it bounces, you do have your highs and lows from the last 2 trading days right on there, so that they're taking care of you there. But over here, guys, you want to have a midpoint, which this one looks pretty good. A couple of days opening and closing around 24.13. We'll keep that right on. That looks very, very nice. All right, so that is TIGR, guys. Very active this morning, heading back towards that low of the pre-market, 22.85. Let's see if it can hold that, or are we trying to break down even lower? All right, now here's NEO this morning. NEO right now is getting a little bit of a nice bounce here from 49 to 30, so that's good. It's holding this pre-market low pretty nice, so I like what I'm seeing there. Over at 49 is your pre-market low. We tested that a couple of times. I won't put too much weight on this here, but here, yes. Right on here, see how many times we tested that and we held it. Again, just a couple of minutes ago, we're holding that 49 again. Now we're getting even a more aggressive bounce here back towards this 49.30 or so. So let's see what happens there. Towards the bottom, guys, if we were to lose that pre-market low, let's do the clear levels first. This is a very clear level right on here, guys. 45.61. And then in between here, you do have this one on here, 46.80, 84. Not as strong as this 45.61, but you got a nice midpoint level there in case you do drop an area to calculate, risk to reward, or aim for a partial if you do take that trade. And then towards the top, guys, highs of the pre-market pretty close to the previous day close, and the lows from two trading days ago. So don't really need to mark that down. But above that, you do have the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. So you're pretty good on NEO this morning. I like the volume. I like the bounce we're getting here. Let's see, this thing is going to be great support this morning. Here's DD, guys, very, very active. So we'll keep an eye on this one. Not much levels to go by here. We're going to mark down the low of the pre-market at 1091, and maybe the opening of this day here, the closing of this day here at 1413. And that's really all you have, right? Highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, and that's it. You really look at the price action here. You look at the volume. Be mindful of the whole dollars, right? Because there's no other information, and not just for you, and nobody else has any other information. So the whole dollars can become a lot more important, because that's where everybody's most likely going to go off, right? We're only 4 days of trading, including today. So AMD this morning looking very nice, guys. Amazing daily on AMD. It's just incredible what it has done over the last couple of weeks here. And today their high is 95. What is the all-time high? We're sitting at 90, like what's 99 or something. Yeah, all-time highs here around 99 something. I don't have the exact number, but there it is. Above 96, if we zoom into this daily area right over here, we do have some levels right on there around 97, so that's nice. And then in between 97 and 96, 95, 65, the high of the pre-market, I don't see a whole lot here, right? It's not much to go by, but no, let's not do that. Let's put that right back up here. There we go. But if we zoom in here, maybe here the closing and opening of these days here. Got a couple of days here, maybe 96.89. Got a couple of days opening and closing right on there. You got this one here too. Again, very, very light level. I will not put too much weight on that. 97 is the good level here. Obviously, you got some clear change in direction, which is nice. A lot of touches, so more confirmation. But it's good to have something in between there because that's a big move. I don't expect it to happen without some kind of consolidation. And if I were to guess, I think the consolidation could happen around 96.89. Right, that is our main list, guys. And we have our secondary list, Apple, which could actually replace even AMC here or any of these other lists. Maybe yeah, it could replace even DD here as well. And actually, I am probably going to do that. No, let's leave it the way it is. Let's not mess with it. Let's leave it the way it is. Let's take a look here. What our moderators are looking at this morning. Let's bring this over here. We'll fine tune this. We'll turn this off here and slide this over and see what our moderators lineup looks like this beautiful Tuesday morning, start of the week of a short week after an amazing holiday. Let's hop in here. So Harry's actually a member, and he went on YouTube to do that super chat just to have a little fun. So that's nice. All right, let's take a look here, guys. Scrolling up, no IPOs this morning. Mike is looking at Nvidia, Apple, and Microsoft, all in really good play. Amazing dailies on all three of these guys. They're just amazing. So if you like to trade these, definitely play. I have Apple on my list. Tiffany has Apple, Neo, and AMD. Dima has Emran, Ali, AMD, and Apple. Eamon has Apple, Zoom, ACB. Secondary list, INTC, TLRY, and CGC. John is looking at NVIDIA this morning again, which looks very, very good. Has been so strong, hitting 800 plus there. Jerry is looking at some of the BTC names on Brian's weekly recap, guys. So if you have not had a moment to take a look at that weekly recap that he does every Sunday, please do so. It's just amazing information he's putting out there. And sign up for swing trading alerts as well. You get the several emails throughout the week, about 2 or 3 at tops. Just straightforward information on what he's looking at. He's looking at Wish, Emran, and AMC. Secondary list Tau for significant lows here if they can get there going there. All right, cool. So that is our list, guys. Guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up over on YouTube if you have not done so already. We highly, highly appreciate it. It does help us out here a ton. Up next, we do have Brian. Do we have live trading today on YouTube? I don't know if we do. I'm going to check here with the mod and get back to you. But either way, hit that thumbs up, guys. Highly, highly appreciate it. We have a pretty decent start to the week, guys. OCGN looking very nice. AMC also is looking very good as well. Very active. TIGR, guys, continue to push some good volume, around 1.2 million shares traded. Neo is looking very nice here. Nice little bounce. You can also look at XBET if you have room for it. DD is pushing amazing volume here, guys. So let's see how this thing is going to trade. Trying to stay above this 1091 at the moment. In AMD's daily, their pre-market action is not great, but their daily is just unbelievable. So we're looking at those two this morning. And guys, thank you for everyone that made it out to the meetup. We'll have pictures tomorrow. If you took pictures yourself, tag us on Twitter. We would love to have them and maybe put them up on our website. We just had an amazing turnout. People brought their family. I know we had Timia. She brought her mother from Jersey, also from New York. So thank you guys for coming there. Just again, I can't remember all the names, but we have such an amazing group there. So that was a whole lot of fun. All right, just waiting to hear back if we are going to have live trading this morning. If not, we'll call it a day on YouTube and continue in our chat. So we'll see. In the meantime, we'll talk about our meetup a little more. I know we had Cody and his wife from Phoenix. Yeah, so they came down to us. Well, they were a whole lot of fun. All right, who do we have here? Peter, we have, he has AMD, Emran on his list, Apple, DD, Space, and he also has BLIN this morning. So that's good. It's very good. It was fun to see some old faces as well. I mean, we saw Paris. Paris has been a member with us for such a long time. So he was there. Hila was also there as well. Again, just an amazing time, guys. Really good. All right, so Andrew is in Peru. He's gonna try to see how the speed is. So we will give it a shot and see how it goes. So if it's too choppy, we'll figure something. But yeah, let's give it a shot. Let's see how the connection is. Guys, do not forget tonight, the onboarding class will be tonight. is going to be at 6. So you have a very full day today. You have Eamon at 5 with the success webinar. You have me at 6 with the onboarding class. You have the technology class at 7 with Kyle. And then, I think that's pretty much it, right? This is because the success webinar is a little bit earlier. So you got a very strong lineup today. A lot going on very early on. So do not forget that. But for those new members, again, remember 6 p.m. 6 p.m. will be the onboarding class this afternoon. 6 p.m. Eastern time. Yes, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. All right, guys. We're just waiting for the Andrew and Brian to connect, and the minute they do that, we will switch on over. As we wait, please take the time to hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. It really helps us out. And if it's first time here, consider subscribing, guys. We do this every Monday through Friday when the market is open. We start at 8 a.m. with Jarad, engineering the markets, go over to the pre-market show, and then we do our live trading. So. All right, perfect. Can you explain briefly how you preset price levels like highs and lows from previous days? Yes, there is a way to do that. There is a way to do that. So if you're using DAS, there is a way to set that up. We have tons of videos on how to do that. So I'll send you a link on how to do that. There it is, Zach. You know it by memory? Yeah, I don't know it by memory, but yes. So study price and then marker, study then price marker, and you can add that on there. All right. Good morning, Brian. How are you doing today?
Morning, everybody. Good morning, Carlos.
Good morning, man. Glad to have you. You had a great weekend.
Yeah, I had a good weekend. I would have loved to have been in New York, meet up with everybody, and sounded like it was a great time.
It was an amazing time, and we definitely missed you, Norm, John, and again, Dimas, Tiffany, all the people that cannot make it. But hopefully soon we'll have another one. All right, I'm gonna hop over to Brian, guys, and for those stick around, live trading with Brian and Andrew coming up next. Andrew's in Peru, so we'll see if his connection can hold up through this. If not, Brian and probably Peter or Thor will join in Brian. So. Take care, guys, on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up. Stick around, live trading, and then we'll see you guys again tomorrow morning, Norm and I and Jarad. Take care.
Brian in the blue room. Yeah, in the blue room. It's soothing color. All right, so we got a lot of the Chinese stocks are down this morning. Of course, Didi, it's mostly news about Didi and the crackdown, what people think is a bit of a crackdown here. Just trying to see what else I can pull together, if there's anything else that's interesting at this point. TAL, was looking at that one. I see Lee and Neo are down. XPEV. Yeah, lots of things on the move here. It's like gold and silver are going to be up again. Today, I'm kind of interested in that play for a swing trade. Get back into some gold. BLIN looks like it's the one that's really in play here this morning. 15 million shares traded already. Yeah, Emrin may be a little bit more choppy. Yeah, Tal has really been taking a beating, as they say. It's you look at that daily chart, it's very ugly. Weekly chart doesn't look any better. NVIDIA is up quite a bit here. I think NVIDIA will be in play as well by the looks of it. AMD is making a move here. Might be worth watching AMD as well. Again, AMD probably on a run to 100 this week. Oh, I can't hear Andrew. No, I can't hear him.
Yeah, no, we can because we're on VMix. So YouTube, sorry folks, we'll have to hop off YouTube because Andrew won't be able to connect live. So Brian, go back to the chat room and I'll
Okay.
cut off YouTube here. So guys, on YouTube, strong apologies this morning. We won't be able to go live with you guys. So we will see you guys tomorrow. Again, Andrew's in Peru, so the connection is just not great for him to be able to stream to the YouTube software. So again, thank you so much, guys, for joining us this morning. Hit that thumbs up, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to go live for you guys. So take care, trade safe, and have an amazing day back into trading. Have a good one, everyone.